Prepare for a trip to the past. From giant skeletons under rear courtyards to lost cities under the ice, today we will explore the most incredible findings that have left the world with their mouths open. Ready to discover what the Earth has hidden for centuries? Number 1. Dinosaur Bone. A Portuguese owner made a surprising discovery while doing works in his backyard. In the midst of excavation and construction, it stumbled upon fragments of fossilized bones. Wanting to know more, he asked the paleontologists for help. The excavation revealed something truly remarkable. Bone fragments were just a small indication of a much greater finding. Buried under his patio was the huge skeleton of a 2-meter-long dinosaur, becoming the largest dinosaur skeleton ever found in Europe. This incredible discovery began in 2017 when the owner of the house noticed for the first time the fossilized bones. After contacting experts, a thorough excavation began, discovering more of the huge dinosaur. The researchers identified the skeleton as belonging to a sauropod, a long-necked herbivorous giant. This dinosaur measured about 39 feet high and extended up to 82 feet long. The sauropods wandered through the Earth approximately between 160 and 100 million years ago, between the end of the Jurassic and the beginning of the Cretaceous. This finding gave researchers a unique opportunity to learn more about these colossal creatures that once dominated our planet. The discovery not only excited scientists, but also shed light on the fascinating prehistoric world. Number 2. Enigmatic City of Atlantis. There are theories that suggest that a mysterious city could lie hidden under the icy surface of Antarctica, possibly even the legendary Atlantis. This huge land covered with scientists today houses a resistant population of penguins, but perhaps in the past it housed an advanced civilization. The theory of displacement of the Earth's cortex argues that about 12,000 years ago, significant changes in the planetary cortex could leave large parts of Antarctica free of ice. According to this idea, ancient peoples could have inhabited the area, which would be aligned with the descriptions of Atlantis, the mythical city described by the Greek philosopher Plato. The representation of Atlantis by Plato as a city founded by divine and human beings resonates with this hypothesis. After the last glaciation, the continent was covered with ice again, causing the end of this prehistoric culture. Those who support the theory often mention the Piri Reis map, prepared in 1530, which according to some shows the Antarctic coast before it was officially discovered. Although many remain skeptical, it is said that NASA has found satellite images that show human settlements under ice. Number 3. 1,400-year-old brick tomb. In March 2022, a 1,400-year-old brick tomb was discovered in the province of Ha Tien, Vietnam. This finding, made by accident during the excavation of an irrigation system, is unique for its construction. The tomb is arc-shaped and is made with cooked bricks of different sizes. Although old tombs are not rare in Vietnam, this style is extremely unusual. Archaeologists confirmed that it belongs to the era of the Chinese dynasty Song. A close, boat-shaped grave was discovered in 1996, also accidentally. These findings highlight how much modern Vietnamese about the ancient funeral traditions of the region are unknown. Although we know that the grave was built for a single occupant, after so many years, there is nothing left of the body or its identity. Number 4. The remarkable rediscovered ship Endurance. The Endurance, a ship that was believed forever, was recently found in Antarctica, resting at the bottom of the Weddell Sea. This vessel, associated with the Antarctic expedition led by Sir Ernest Shacklet, found its tragic final in 1915, when it was crushed by sea ice. For more than a century it was thought that it would never recover, and many wondered if one day it would appear. Surprisingly, when located, the Endurance showed an amazing state of conservation, evidencing the resistance of its structure despite having remained submerged so long. The good condition of the ship offers a fascinating window to maritime history and the challenges faced by the first explorers in one of the most implacable environments on Earth. Number 5. Heart Burial. There was a time when he got used to extracting a person's heart after his death and burying him separately. This ritual, known as heart burial, used to reserve for the elite. In 2014, An example of this was discovered in Flers, Normandy, France. The finding was made in a parish church with a cemetery, within a masonry vault of the 15th century. Within a heart-shaped box, the organ was surprisingly well preserved, protected by a granulated brown substance with a mint smell. The mummified heart still had arteries, ventricles, and intact cameras. While the heart was so well taken care of, the other remains in the vault were reduced to skeletons. This finding demonstrates the great symbolic value that was granted to the heart at that time. Number 6. The discovery of the Monstrolopsis planifrons. Have you heard of a creature that remained hidden under Antarctic ice for centuries? We introduce you to the Monstrolopsis planifrons, an extraordinary species discovered by chance by a student from the University of Manitoba. This student was not looking for such a creature, but his fortuitous finding has captured the interest of many. The Monstrolopsis planifrons has 8 brush-shaped legs that allow it to swim in grace in the cold waters, giving it an almost transparent appearance. This peculiar finding challenges our understanding of life in one of the most extreme environments on the planet. The existence of this creature emphasizes how much we have to learn about the unique ecosystems of Antarctica, where survival is a constant struggle against the elements. Number 7. Queen Moche Tomb. Approximately 1,000 years ago, the Moche people of Peru buried with great reverence to a prominent woman of her society. In 2013, his grave was rediscovered by modern archaeologists in the region of San Jose de Moro, near the Jequitepeque River. This discovery has changed the way in which Peruvian historians see the roles of women in Moche society during the 7th century. Although they do not know their name, they think he was a priestess, a queen, or even both. When she was buried, she was in a camera whose walls were painted red, and ceremonial ceramic vessels had been placed in niches inside the grave. The bodies of their female assistants were buried with her, along with 5 children. Spooky, it is very likely that both attendees and children were sacrificed as part of the burial. This grave is the 8th of a high-status woman found in San Jose de Moro since the excavations began in 1991, indicating that the female leaders or high priestesses were not something unusual among the Moche. Number 8. Egyptian gynecological treatment. The ancient Egyptians were pioneers in medicine. In addition to their advanced mummification processes, they also performed brain surgeries, something that few civilizations of the ancient world could do. In 2020, another medical ability was revealed: gynecology. This finding arose after identifying evidence of gynecological treatment in a mummy of the Middle Kingdom, found in 2017 in a funeral well of Kubbat el Hawa, in Ajuan. The mummy, who died approximately 3,900 years ago, showed signs of a fractured pelvis, an injury that probably left her sterile. According to former Egyptian medical texts, fumigations were the recommended treatment for sterility. When the mummy was found, there was a drink between his legs. The analyses revealed remains of burned organic material used in fumigations. It seems that doctors tried to treat their sterility even after death, perhaps so that they could have children in the other life. Number 9. The Scott Cabin and its historical importance. Located on the northern shore of Cabo Evans, on Ross Island, Scott's Cabin is a historical structure of great relevance in Antarctica. Built during the British Antarctic Expedition from 1910 to 1913, known as the Terra Nova Expedition, this cabin was prefabricated in London and assembled in just 9 days after its arrival to the ice cream. It served as a vital basis for the 25 members of the Robert Falcon Scott team during his arduous trip to the South Pole. Tragically, in this unfortunate expedition, Scott and his companions died on the way back, about 261 kilometers from the base and only 19 kilometers from their next supply deposit. When they finally found the bodies, they also found Antarctic fossils, including one of a tree of the genus Glossopteris. This discovery was a forceful proof that Antarctica, at some point, was covered by forests. The history of this expedition illustrates not only the courage of the explorers, but also the harsh realities they faced in their search for knowledge. Number 10. Stolen silver from the church. 3 centenary silver artifacts, stolen in the church of San Pedro and San Pablo in Watford, Northamptonshire, during a bold robbery last summer, have resurfaced in an unlikely place, a picturesque nearby rear garden. The discovery occurred on the eve of the new year, when James Patmore, while preparing his garden for an upcoming move, unearthed the hidden historical treasures among the weeds. These stolen relics, which included a beautiful chalice, an ornate silver jug, and a delicately elaborate silver bowl, have a rich history that dates back to their original donation to the church in 1720. The robbery left the local community shocked, which saw how they snatched it under the protection of the dark, valuable pieces of its religious and cultural heritage. However, the perseverance of residents and diligent search efforts have now given their fruits. The recovery took place in Laundry Cottage, in Church Street, where the efforts of a resident who cleaned the garden allowed to dig up these objects of incalculable value. Despite this lucky finding, the authorities continue to call the community to remain alert and look around the rest of the stolen silver pieces. Among the still missing objects is a valuable dish of silver, a distinctive silver paten, a silver design panera, and a rare baptismal silver shell. Number 11. William Morris and his findings in Antarctica. William Morris is recognized as one of the most intriguing visionaries who have explored Antarctica, especially through his work The Navigator Who Crossed the Ice Walls. This imaginative story tells the adventure of a researcher determined to explore the waters surrounding the Antarctic Circle. Beyond the ice walls, Morris describes the discovery of a completely different civilization, hidden in the vast frozen extensions of the continent. Although this story belongs to the scope of fiction, leaves an intriguing question open: could there be something really behind these narratives? The huge and unexplored frozen extensions of Antarctica constantly feed fascinating ideas about the secrets that could be hidden under their frozen surface. Number 12. Old typewriter. A cleaning operation in the Baltic Sea in 2019 showed unexpected results: the discovery of an Enigma encryption machine of World War II. The divers responsible for the finding were withdrawing abandoned fishing networks that represented a danger to marine life in Gelting Bay, Germany, when they found the rare device. Initially, they thought it was just an old oxidized typewriter, until someone with better knowledge examined her. The machine was in very bad conditions when it was taken to the surface, but experts believe they could restore it enough to be exhibited in a museum. It is likely that the device was thrown by board from a German warship during the last days of the war. At that time, the Germans made extraordinary efforts to prevent Enigma machines from falling into Allied hands, even without knowing that the British mathematician Alan Turing had already deciphered the code in 1941. Since then, the Allies knew the most significant movements of the Germans in advance, which helped change the course of the war. Number 13. Evidence of a tropical forest under the ice of Antarctica. The Antarctica, known as a vast ice cream, has revealed one of its most impressive secrets: the remains of a tropical forest. Near the Pine Island Glacier, the researchers discovered a network of old roots, pollen, and other indications of an exuberant environment. These findings indicate that, about 90 million years ago, during the era of dinosaurs, this region enjoyed a significantly warmer climate. The average temperatures exceed 12 degrees Celsius, with summer maxims around 18 degrees Celsius. The discovery suggests that Antarctica was not always covered with ice and snow. In that period, a tropical forest flourished, probably similar to those of current warm regions. This not only expands our understanding of the climate history of the Earth, but also raises intriguing questions about prehistoric lifeforms that could have prospered in this today inhospitable continent. Number 14. Save the population of butterflies. Tim Wong, aquatic biologist of the California Academy of Sciences, embarked on a mission in 2012 to revive the rare population of butterflies Code of California in San Francisco. Affairs in the region, these butterflies have decreased due to the loss of habitat and scarcity of its main source of food, the California pipeline plant. Without being intimidated by the challenges, Wong located the elusive pipeline plant in the Botanical Garden of San Francisco. With permission, cuts were carried home and used self-taught methods to propagate it. Wong built a specialized enclosure in his backyard to protect the butterflies from predators and guarantee ideal conditions for their breeding and growth. Starting with just 20 caterpillars, Wong fed them with vine plants. Over time, their efforts paid fruit, because thousands of caterpillars prospered and metamorphosed in butterflies. Every year since 2012, more butterflies have been observed flying, putting eggs, and completing their life cycle both in the Wong Garden and in the San Francisco Botanical Garden. Wong's dedication and innovative methods have not only revived the population of butterfly swallowtail in California, but have also inspired the conservation efforts of other threatened species. Its history underlines the power of the individual initiative in the conservation of biodiversity and the restoration of ecosystems. Number 15. Bright Diamond. The adventure of April Sant, an 8-year-old girl from California, became a dazzling discovery when he missed a brilliant diamond while collecting golf balls. Initially skeptic, his father, Gary Sant, suspected that the gem could be false, possibly a cubic zirconia. To verify its authenticity, it performed a series of tests, including scratching the glass with the diamond, a classic method that confirmed its genuine nature. The diamond, which has now confirmed that it is a gem of a collate valued at approximately $15,000, has become an appreciated possession for April. At the moment, he plans to keep it, although his unexpected gain has aroused enthusiasm among his friends and family. This remarkable finding not only adds a touch of glamour to April's exploits in the backyard, but also raises interesting questions about how such a valuable gem ended in its patio. The Santos familia, who has lived at home for a decade, continues to feel curious about the origins of the diamond. April, born in April, now has a captivating story to share with his third-year partners, a story of luck and discoveries that has made his backyard a place of wonders and surprises. Number 16. The enigmatic fossil discovery in Antarctica. In 2011, a team of scientists in Antarctica made a fascinating finding, a fossil that, at first glance, looked like a dental soccer ball. After a detailed analysis, it was identified as a giant soft shell egg, dated in about 66 million years. With approximate dimensions of 28 centimeters long by 18 centimeters wide, this fossil is the largest soft peel ever discovered and the first of its kind found in Antarctica. Experts suggest that they could have been put by an extinct giant lizard or a snake that coexisted with dinosaurs. This discovery challenges traditional ideas about the size and composition of soft shell eggs, providing new knowledge about the biodiversity of prehistoric life on Earth.